Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast series called My Ketogenic Journey, Part 1. Obviously, I'm not a native speaker in a sense, but I'll be giving it a shot um, internationally because I thought that I would challenge myself more than just dieting. So, where do we stand at the moment? I am a 270-pound male, and I've started ketogenic diet 5 days ago. And currently, what inspired me to start a podcast of my own is the sensations that I'm feeling and where I'm coming from, and maybe I'd like to share the situation that I'm facing with other people that might be listening. So I'd like to take a moment to also make a point about ketogenic diet being slightly expensive. So I had to find a workaround for that also. So what I basically can afford currently is butter and broccoli and minced meat. So ground beef or whatever you want to call it. And these three ingredients have been the basis of my meals for the last 5 days, and also we'll get to that later, but I had to add some eggs to my diet as well, since I found very fast that eating only broccoli all day made me feel a bit nauseous. So we'll examine those bodily symptoms that I experienced also. We will tackle them head on later on in the podcast. And excuse me for losing my train of thought constantly. This is my very first podcast in English, I think, that I've done in a great long while. So I've dieted for most of my life, actually, and I've lost many pounds along the way and gained at least double because I always break down. No, I won't really want to go to the reasons behind all those failures, but it's been interesting journey for me because it always becomes harder and harder to lose the weight again. So when I'm getting younger, older, so at the moment, during the recording of this podcast, I am 38 years old, and I weigh, like I mentioned before, 270 pounds. So some of the running that I used to do is out of the picture, and I don't want to actually even attempt any exercise early on because I'm losing. My aim is to lose weight without exercise, and then when I reach a plateau of sorts, when I cannot lose any more weight without training, I will attempt to include some walking, running, and possibly some light weightlifting and maybe some cardio, of course. But those will follow later on because my journey is important to me, so that I can relate my thoughts about concerning the ketogenic diet and its possible challenges that I'm currently trying to overcome. So first off is the price, and I've been able to tackle that with I am currently unemployed, so I've had to tackle that price issue, of course, and I think that My minced meat is about €2 at the moment, and broccoli is €1, and then you've got the butter that is like €4 to €5, but it's a big big hunk of butter, so it lasts me about, I don't even know, maybe 10 to 20 meals. So that's not really an investment. and and the minced meat is of course very cheap, so that's what I'm sticking to. And we might, if this podcast gets off the ground in any manner, we might tackle the prices further on. If I manage to keep up with this diet, so that's what this podcast is all about. And to return to the place where I was 5 days ago, not necessarily 5 days ago, but what inspired me to start this podcast was the fifth day revelation of sorts that I had just recently, where I'm like, when I woke up today, I felt that most of the nausea was had gone away, and also my low energy feelings. I was feeling really tired and depressed, but I didn't really see a difference to my normal state, I think, because I'm always tired and depressed. But then, with the current situation, I feel that I'm less depressed and more feeling more optimistic about the diet, and that should be this podcast should be proof enough for you that I'm really attempting to, or my like self-esteem is going up enough so that I can really try and experiment with something new, podcast that is not in my native language, for example, and furthermore, even trying and challenging myself in this manner that I wouldn't necessarily have the self-esteem for earlier on. So it's interesting to me to see where it goes, and I'll be doing a weigh-in, stepping on the scales in about 9 days, and we'll see how it goes afterwards. Because I don't want to stare at the scale feeling anxious all the time that it's going up or down. I don't really want to be a slave to the scale, but I'm being optimistic and hopeful that I'll lose some weight. And then we should probably tackle the challenges that I've had during these 5 days. And the most important challenge to me was, of course, besides tiredness, was the slight nausea and stomach problems that I had during the process. And I was thinking that no way a man could eat like just broccoli and minced meat, and I felt really bad about the prospect of eating nothing else. So I'm slowly maybe looking further into the whole ketogenic diet and finding out what foods there are for me to eat, and most importantly, because I am lazy, I'm looking forward to finding some easy to create ketogenic diet recipes, and that is why it was a godsend to me. The YouTube video that shared the easy meal plan of eating broccoli and butter. It was one of the recipes. They had like 3 different recipes for meals. I'll wait a moment. I'll check the name real fast because I want to give them a shout out at this point. Yes, yes, the YouTuber's name was Fat for Weight Loss, and he had a video called 3 ingredient easy keto meal prep. And so this inspired me to at least attempt to see if this would be hopefully my last big weight loss journey, because I've had 2 in my lifetime and this would be the 3rd. So I'm hoping that we can get there by expanding what we are able to eat and what kind of meals I'll be able to prepare if I get really fed up with the broccoli as it is. But the most encouraging part for me, and I'm hoping that somebody is still listening out there who thinks that can they beat the ketogenic diet, or like can they use it to lose their weight. And that's why I'm bringing out my perspective in the matter, which is like a depressed guy in their late 30s, constantly failing at everything. But the 5th day, as I've said, was really a revelation for me when I felt really better. I've also given up coffee and caffeine, so the 5th day was really like when I felt like this could be done. And so that's probably the most important message I can give out to you at this point, because the first 3 days were really tired and kind of nauseous, and including some stomach problems. So right now I'm feeling that my body is maybe finally getting accustomed to not having caffeine or any like delicacies like chocolate and coffee and white bread and all the sorts that you cannot anymore enjoy. I'll put a quotations marks on those enjoy words, but so now it feels like this is the first day that I'm feeling hopeful about the diet, my 5th day during the ketogenic diet. And I think that's the only main message I have for you beginning your journey, like I am. That would be the most important message I have for you out there: to not give up, at least see the 5th day how you feel about eating broccoli and minced meat and butter, because now it's getting better, and I think that I might even go outside today, which is unfathomable for me because I'm usually just laying on the couch and doing nothing. So I think that it really is a step up from what I'm feeling or how I'm feeling most of the time. So much of the anxiety is gone, because caffeine used to like create a sensation of anxiety, and much of the how should I say it, when you are like I don't know, I don't know the word for it. Is it inflammation or something? So much of those sensations are gone as well. So right now I'm just feeling, well, not necessarily light, but very optimistic about the whole ketogenic journey. And I'm hoping at least to get some feedback on the video about doing a ketogenic journey podcast, because then if I get some positive feedback, perhaps I'll be able to make an update of sorts, because this challenges me very much, because my English isn't that good. So I'm hoping to challenge me on this front as well. And like make it about some self-esteem help. I'm not sure how should I describe it in so few words, but possibly this is the first part, and maybe the second part could be along the lines when I get my first weigh in after starting ketogenic diet, so in about 9 days, I hope. So regardless of what feedback I get, at least this podcast series will be a two-parter, so I don't give up so easily. But the second part will be coming in about 9 days, I hope, and I'll see you then. And I'm hoping that if you are struggling with the first 3 days on your ketogenic journey, no matter what the diet you might be or what the specifics of what you are eating might be, I'm just hoping that because no one was there to say to me that at around the 5th day it would get so much easier. So that's what I'm trying to message out here, I think. That is the primary message to you, all of you weight loss friends out there that are struggling with the first 3 days. So that I think that is the gist of it all, I think. So I will hopefully see you in 9 days time, and hang in there, you are not alone, and we'll see you again hopefully. Bye bye.